Hello everyone, this is Darkon, and of course, I figured I would give my personal opinion on the patch 3.3 trailer for Final Fantasy XIV, also known as 3.3 Revenge of the Horde. Well, let's just continue on, and I'll speak as I go, as it plays. I'm sorry. So far, what I've seen from the trailer, it is quite good. As you can clearly see there, for this one, it's going to be the final fight against Nidhogg and his horde of dragons, or his particular brood. As you can tell, it's going to be quite a fight by the looks of it that night. And several knights do not look like they're going to have a good time with it. And of course, if you don't know, Nidhogg overtook, well, that's not Nidhogg there, that one there would be Racefelga, Nidhogg's brother. Nidhogg has taken over Estinian's body when Estinian took both of Nidhogg's eyes. So essentially, Estinian was the Agitar Go. And, basically Nidhogg, because his rage was so strong, he pretty much took over the body, and well, he can become basically human or he can become dragon. He's still a dragon, just that he can use both forms if he chooses. But again, it's going to be the final fight against him. But going past that, of course, this one's the new 25-man raid that will be coming up in patch 3.3. It did look interesting. Although it's always annoying to have every time it's going to be a circular fight. But, it's pretty much like a par for the course thing. It's like, if it's not broke, don't fix it kind of deal. But overall, the fights do look, interesting. They always do. And I like this one. It's Osmos, I believe it was called. I can't remember the exact pronunciation. I'm pretty sure that's it. But it's usually a super boss or rather optional super boss in some of the older Final Fantasies. I remember it from Final Fantasy IX. It might have been in other ones, but that's the only one I can initially remember him being in. And of course, I believe that would be the final boss, the queen that was inside the inside that giant sarcophagus. And of course, naturally, we also got the new Beast Tribe quests for the Moogles. This one is pretty much going to be the entire crafting based. And of course, naturally, you got drunk Moogles there. I kid you not, they are drunk. You've probably seen pictures of the patch 3.3 for stuff like that. Primarily the reason it's going to be a crafting one is because that's what the Moogles do. Like, they want to restore Racefelga's basically city home that used to be joined together for the dragons and mortals in the ages past. Of course, naturally, by the looks of it, Hullbreaker Island also got a bit of a change. After you got rid of the Kraken from before, the Maelstrom decided to make it into a training ground. So naturally, who's gonna go and do it? Of course, it's gonna be you. And I like this, the Lightning Snail. I can't remember the actual name for him, but I remember that boss quite fondly because it's the first boss you fight in Final Fantasy VI. And yeah, I kind of like that. And of course, naturally, you get to fight Mistbeard. I know he's not called that, but honestly, after all the clues and hints we've gotten before, who else is it going to be? And who else is he actually going to be? And here we go. This is footage of the Thepolis. It's the one where if you use the 8-man dragon skin treasure maps, sometimes these will open. And when you do, it kind of gives you a chance for more treasure. You beat the room, you have a choice between which room you go in, and if you choose right, you get to continue on, go further, and get more loot and stuff like that, and so on and so forth. If you choose wrong, you get ejected from the place. So it's a nice little added bit. And of course, naturally, by the looks, Hildebrand also gets a little added bonus. Of course, you always want a little more Hildebrand in your life. There's that smile. And of course, there's going to be, naturally, new furniture. As they're showing off the flower pots, nice and glowing. They aren't going to be, growing like, they're just gonna be aesthetic stuff. Like, take a look. You can put the flower in your hair. And, of course, there's new hairstyles. But, like, the flower pots are essentially just gonna be a... let's see, how would I put this? It's not gonna be, like, growing actual stuff from the outside yet. At least as far as we've been told. That's still something I think they plan on later. I do like some of the new gear. Like, the, yeah, like, look at that. You look like a giant bird. There's a pig costume. I'm pretty sure a few people are gonna go nuts for that one. I kind of like the bug one. I can't remember the beast tribe's names. Oh yeah, the Vath. That was it. Of course, this is footage of the new PvP area called, of course, Fields of Glory, Shatter. I usually don't do PvP myself, and this, for me, looks like a capture the flag style. Capture the flag, hold the area. The longer you hold it, the more points you get. If you hold multiple ones, points accumulate faster, and so on and so forth. So, you know, it's pretty basic for that case. And here's something I was interested in quite a bit. And you'll know in a second what it is. We finally get footage of Palace of the Dead. I believe it was also called the Deep Dark, if I remember correctly. In this case, you also see everyone has different glowing weapons. That's because you grow more powerful as you go into the place. It also seems interesting because take a look. In some cases, you're also transforming into creatures. Now, it's a very odd thing because take a look here. There you go. One of the characters turned into a succubus, I believe it was. But yeah, it seems very interesting like that. I'm like, I've never seen that before. We don't know what that means. And of course, naturally, a mysterious character. I think it's probably the girl from, I can't remember what hard mode it was. It wasn't Satasha, but it was, actually it might have been that. Whatever. Here's the new area that has to do with the area of Race Felgar's home, primarily. And of course, naturally, we get to fight and beat up more Moogles. It's been a while since we've done that. Not since the Moogle King. And jump up. There's a pony we're gonna fight. Someone's been watching My Little Pony a bit too much. There's Race Felgar fighting in the background. And of course, naturally, you don't want to forget, we get to fight against Race Felgar himself. There's no real reason why we're doing this at the moment, but chances are it's going to be one of those things where it's going to be part of the story. We go in, we have to fight him, and he's basically saying, for me to help you or to do anything, I have to test you. You have to be able to beat me. It's kind of like what Ramu did before. And of course, naturally, since this is going to be the final fight against Nidhogg, he is also the final fight against him will be a trial. So naturally, since he's got a trial, he will also have an extreme mode. The final steps of faith. Now we get to see a little bit of the fight here. I believe this is just a normal version. But by the looks of it, it's not. It's odd because it's not. It's a bit more like Leviathan. It's square, not a circle. Don't know quite what kind of knockback mechanics it might have. But by the looks of it, it looks pretty cool. And of course, naturally, he uses Estinian's form rather than his own, and does a giant jump. And that's it for Revenge of the Horde. And that, overall, I think it's going to be pretty damn cool. This is Darkon, and I hope to see you again soon. So long, and farewell.